What's up, guys? So today I read a report from Meta itself that said that their average price per ad increased 9% in 2025, and in Q1 of this year, the average price per ad was up 12% year over year. So that means that every single click to your e-commerce store is getting more expensive, and thus it's getting more harder and less profitable to acquire new customers. So you cannot rely on just ads anymore. You need a solid and reliable backend system that turns your existing traffic into subscribers, customers, and repeat buyers over time. And that's exactly what Klaviyo helps you do. So in this video, I'm going to show you the basic Klaviyo email marketing setup every e-commerce brand should have, and I'll walk you through the three main components, and those are the sign-up forms, flows, and campaigns, and I'll even show you some real-life examples for one of my clients. So let's get straight to it. So this is how Klaviyo looks like from the inside. This is a dummy account I use. And when you create your Klaviyo account, here you will have a couple of steps. You can just follow the steps. Klaviyo makes it super easy for you. It will show you how to connect your Shopify. It's just a couple of clicks, how to install your DMARC record. And after that, you'll be ready to, acquire new subscribers and, send emails. All right, so let's get started with the sign up forms. Now, I have a full YouTube video going over the how to create a high converting sign up form in depth. I believe it's like 40 minutes long on my YouTube video. You can check that one out. I won't go too deep into it in this video. I just want to show you the overlay, how everything works and how everything looks like inside of Klaviyo. And actually, what I'm going to do is I will show you a clone of one of my clients' opt-in form. And what you want to do is have a separate mobile and desktop wall. So you can optimize each for different devices, and it's better for you to track the conversion rate, right? If you have it on the same one, you want to know how many people come from desktop and how many people come from mobile, right? So let's check out the mobile opt-in form. All right, so as you can see here, this is how it looks like. I believe that the UI has actually been changed just today, but this is basically how it looks like. Here you have a teaser, which you can just add. It's like this little, get X% off or something on your website. Now this one, yes, it does increase submit rate on your opt-in forms, but it usually lowers the conversion rate of the actual website. And to me personally, it's really quite annoying. So I would avoid using these. Most of the times, obviously, it's testable, but in like 90% of the cases, it will lower your conversion rate on your website. All right, so let's just delete that one. And this is the 2 steps or the micro commitment pop-up, however you like to call it. And it's basically first asking them, do you want to offer? And then giving them the option to, sign up. And then we have the success page saying like, welcome in, check your email inbox to find your 10% of discount code. Now you can definitely play around with it, and I recommend running an A/B test on your opt-in form at least once a week, because just a couple of weeks you can really improve your submit rate and capture a lot of traffic that would otherwise be lost that you paid for. Here you can also play around with it. You got styles, you got full page, flyout. I usually the full page tends to convert better in today's age, but this one is also great. Here you can manipulate the size of it, the roundness, where do you want to have your X and stuff like that. Again, I have a full YouTube video going all of this in depth. You can check it out. It will definitely help you create a high converting pop-up. And here we also have the targeting and behavior option. So this is where you set up the when do you want your pop-up or your opt-in form to show, right? Usually you have a couple of options here. You have after time delay, and this one is the most important one. Usually I like to go anywhere between 8 to 10 seconds. It really depends on your brand, and this is really testable. For some brands, even 30 seconds might be the best one. But again, it really depends on your brand. I would avoid making it appear immediately because that's quite annoying. You want to have it at least 6 seconds when a person comes to your website. You have other options like after visitors has scrolled a certain amount. Now this one might not trigger properly if a person just scrolls instantly. They didn't even have the time to read anything. They just, did a quick scroll and it scrolled 80% of the page. So I definitely would recommend you turning this one off. After visitor sees a certain number of pages, at this point, if they see 3 pages, they were probably on the website for at least 8 seconds, right? If they weren't just clicking randomly. So you don't even have to check this one on. And only display if all selecting conditions are met. I would just also click this one off. And I would just keep the after time delay, or when a visitor is exiting the page. But this one is for desktop. This doesn't make sense for mobile because you cannot track the fingerprint, right, on the mobile. But you cannot track the exit intent. But yeah, here you select if you want to have it on the desktop only or on the mobile only or all devices. Again, I highly recommend you have separate desktop and mobile opt-in forms. And that's pretty much it. After you're done setting up your opt-in form, you can just click publish or schedule, and the opt-in form will be live on your website. And then you can just A/B test it, keep improving it, keep optimizing it until you get the best results possible. All right, so that's it for the opt-in forms. Now the next step is your automated emails. So flows are basically emails that are sent automatically by software, Klaviyo in this case, when a person does a specific action on your website. For example, when somebody opt-ins on the opt-in form, they get added to the welcome flow. Or when they go to the checkout and they just leave, they get added to the abandoned checkout flow. And here is an example of how those flows look like. And the funnel would be basically an opt-in form, right? They check out this opt-in form, they subscribe, then they receive this email, welcome to this brand, here is your discount code. And then if they don't buy, they receive this email and so on until they buy. And the core flows you want to have is the welcome, site, browse, cart, checkout, abandonment flows, and the post-purchase flow. Depending on your product and stuff, you want to have replenishment flow, win-back flow, but these 5 are the basics, and the most minimal you need to have is the checkout abandonment and the welcome flow and a post-purchase flow. That's like the bare minimum, and you want to have like at least 3 emails in each of those flows. So again, an example would be a person goes to the product page, they leave, and they don't go to checkout, and they will get hit with this email, for example, 30 minutes to 1 hour or whatever the time period you set. And the goal of the flows is to literally make your revenue on autopilot and make sure you don't lose any sales, right? Because if somebody leaves cart, for example, those people is very warm, right? They're obviously more warmer audience than some people who like only clicked on your ad, for example, and you don't want that potential purchase to be lost. So you send them an emails reminding them, talking about the benefits, educating them about your product, maybe giving them some incentive like a discount to come back and finish their order. So let's create a classical welcome flow inside of Klaviyo. So you would just go here to flows, and when you have a new account, this would be like the first one, but when you have your flows already set up, you will have options to select the flow you want. So let's just click create, or let's just click build your own. Here we will just search for different types of flows. Obviously, there are endless types of flows you can have. You can have for happy birthday, when it's somebody's birthday, you can like send them a discount or a bunch of stuff, right? So let's create a welcome flow, sorry. So make sure the trigger is the same list you selected when you created your opt-in form, right? Because the trigger for the welcome flow isn't when somebody subscribes, but it is when somebody joins a specific list. So you need to make sure that these two are the same. Otherwise, Klaviyo won't be able to know who to send the welcome flow if they didn't subscribe to the correct list. All right, so this is how a flow looks like inside of Klaviyo. First, we have the trigger, then we have the emails, and also you can add SMSs here, right? Too, if you have it set it up, which you definitely should. And this is the logic behind it, right? So somebody joins the list, then they receive this email. And then if they don't buy in an X amount of period, for example, 3 days, they receive the next one and so on. So yeah, here you can just change the subject lines, your preview text, change the templates, and this is an example from this brand how that email would look like. So again, they went to your store, they saw the pop-up was like get X% off, they were like sure, they subscribed, they went to their inbox, and then they received this email, right? Welcome to this brand, your better sleep starts here, because this is a supplement, a sleeping supplement brand. Yeah, and when they click this button, they go back to the website, they have the discount code now, and they are more likely to buy. And the best part that all of this is done on autopilot. So you just set it up once and it works forever until your store is online, of course. And then what's left for you is to optimize it, test different offers, different creatives, different copy, and everything with the goal of getting the most revenue and profit possible. So yeah, that's how the opt-in forms and flows work. Now let's talk about the last pillar of email marketing, and those are campaigns. All right, so in order for you to create a campaign, you go here to campaigns, and then you create a new one. Now we have SMS, WhatsApp, but we only want one single channel. In this case, it's email. Here you have the name of the campaign, right? And by the way, campaigns are just a one-time send. They aren't automated emails like flows. So they can be, for example, 4th of July promotion or an X% off or anything that you want to send to your customers. Here you would select the list you want to send, and here you would select the list you don't want to send. For example, people who bought recently because they already bought, they maybe didn't even receive their orders, and you don't want to keep selling them when they haven't even received their order yet and they already placed it. So yeah, you select the people you want to send to here on the first step, then you select next, then you have your subject lines and your preview text, and you have the templates from your own Klaviyo, right? And this one we just imported it from Figma. If you want to see how that's done, I also have a video on it, and this could be an example for a campaign, right? Here you have the drag and drop editor where the campaign is made, where you enter the links, and this is like a social proof or a testimonial campaign, as you can see here, talking about the experience from one of the clients, one of the customers. Here you have a nice picture of the brand and stuff, and yeah, so you just select it there, you go next, here you go next again. Oops, let me just enter a subject line, for example, your turn next. You can just copy paste the headline just for the sake of this video. Try it out yourself. Now this is a terrible subject line and preview text, but just for the sake of this video, let's just stick with it. And then the final step is just scheduling the campaign. You can either send it now or you can schedule it for a specific time and time zone. Usually you want to do Eastern if you're obviously in the Eastern, Pacific, you're Pacific, and you get the point. Then you would just click schedule message, and that will be it. Now here are some examples of campaigns from different brands. This is a website called Mild where you can see different campaigns from different brands. Here's like a 20% off site-wide sale from Manscaped, or we have a campaign from Everyday Dose, Not More Coffee, Mushroom Coffee. So this is like a educational campaign, I guess, talking more about the product so you can educate people and nurture them so they can eventually buy from your brand. Here we have another one from a brand called Skincare Essentials, so up to 40% off. And yeah, you get the point. So it's basically like educating, providing more value through campaigns, staying top of mind, giving them some discounts or something to push them over the edge and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much how Klaviyo looks like from the inside, and this was just the tip of the iceberg. Again, the sign-up forms, the flows, and the campaigns are the most important ones, but I can talk about for hours how you can optimize them for the best result possible, and you have a bunch of videos where you can learn more about it on my channel. But other than that, you have stuff like deliverability, segmentation, you need to write copy, you need to design, and you need to keep A/B testing them, you need to keep optimizing them. And all of that takes a lot of time and, to be honest, expertise for the best results possible. So yeah, if you want somebody to take care of your entire backend system and make sure you do not leave a single penny on the table while you focus on your front end, stuff like your ads, your creatives, your products, make sure to click the link in the description below and schedule a call with me where I'll go over your Klaviyo account personally and tell you what we can achieve for your brand. So yeah, hope you guys liked the video and I'll see you in the next one.